It's 2007. I'm 3 years old. The only thing that matters to me is making sure this motherfucker doesn't get the Krabby Patty formula. However, if you're a little older than me, you probably heard of the Eurojank cult following to a game called Stalker, which sees you playing as a stalker in the Chernobyl exclusion zone where there's a lot of scientific research that's probably unethical. No, it's definitely unethical. But after the Chernobyl explosion, a whole nother scientific catastrophe happened, rendering the zone even more dangerous to explore, leading this entire area to deteriorate into this radiated, fucked up wasteland where people's true nature is shown, much like the DMV. I love waiting in line for 3 hours just to be told I don't have a piece of fucking paper. So if you were a little older than me, you got this banger, right? You were so excited for the next game to come out. And then, after the third installment of the game, you gotta wait 15 years for the next one. I could see how that would be a little bit hard. You're telling me there's a GTA 6 now? That we know about it? 15 years ago, there was no fucking shot you would even be able to predict half of the shit that happened. Go back to 2007 and tell someone about Mr. Beast. Now, a lot of things have happened since then. Games have gotten a lot better mechanically, graphically, storytelling-wise. Well, storytelling is a little bit of an iffy. There's some bangers, okay? Storytelling arguably has gotten worse, but games have changed a lot since then. Fortnite happened, rest in peace, 2017. That was some of the best times of my life.
That's all you know. You don't know nothing else.
Tarkov happened. Some of the worst times of my life that I could not stop from doing for some reason.
I just killed a person with a fast M10 M4.
I don't know what they put in that game. Crack addiction for like 4 years. And then soon, GSC Studios came down from the heavens above and said, hey guys, shut the fuck up. We're doing it. Don't worry. And then everyone was like, guys, I don't know. You guys might have missed your time to like do that. And then they were like, shut the fuck up. We're making it. Oh. Okay. Cool. So then we waited until November 20th of 2024. We got Stalker II Heart of Chernobyl, baby. So how is it, you may be asking? It's pretty good, actually. Like, it's pretty decent. There are definitely some bugs and some issues that need to be fixed here and there, but it's more Stalker. So first of all, I want to talk about the background of the game because I feel like that's important for understanding the game. This game was made in Ukraine during a very hard time during the war and the pandemic, so it is nothing short of a miracle that this game even exists at this point. The devs would genuinely go into the exclusion zone, IRL, crazy, I know, I didn't know that real life was a thing either, and immerse themselves in that environment to be able to build the world of Stalker 2 better, which I think is amazing and shows a lot of dedication on their end, on top of all the other things that I just mentioned. And I am sure that it is incomprehensibly scary to put all of your effort into this game on top of these conditions to hope that it does well. If you haven't watched the Stalker 2 documentary, the dev documentary of how it was made, I would highly recommend it. I watched it kind of over my shoulder while my brother was watching it, listened to some of it, and absorbed a lot of it, and I thought that it was very powerful while I was playing the game. So let's get talking to that Eurojank that we all love, baby. In Stalker 2, you play as a guy named Skiff. It's a pretty cool name. And it opens with presumably Skiff looking inside of a destroyed building. I'm assuming as the either Chernobyl event happened or the secondary scientific event. And you find what is an artifact. But it ain't no normal fucking artifact. And of course, we're going to pick that shit up because it's a glowing crystal. My man urges to grab the glowing crystal. It then cuts to you riding in the back of a truck in a terrible storm. The main character, Skiff, is holding the artifact that he found. Very tightly. The truck crashes, the storm stops, and you are introduced to Herman, who you then show the artifact, which presumably he's seeing for the first time, and he basically says, hey dog, this is not worth anything. What the fuck? Because most artifacts are supposed to fall apart once they don't have any more energy inside of them. Which, I mean, I would probably say that to Skiff too, given that he found it in his goddamn laundry basket, So then he basically gives you a scanner and you walk into the zone and you get your first real taste of the zone that you're going to be exploring for hours and hours on end. As soon as you enter the zone, you see some pretty cool, but also some pretty scary things. Some very scary things that startled me a lot. That's fucking sick, dude. Shit got me feeling like I'm about to get a ray gun. I played Silent Hill. This shit's not even that scary. What the hell? It kind of introduces you to the main mechanics of the game through the scanner mission, where you would go through the zone looking at different anomalies, fighting different monsters, learning how the gunplay works, and learning how to do stealth and how quickly enemies can die. And it teaches you very quickly that you are like everyone else. You're just trying to survive. You're not a special guy. You're just a dude. The first anomaly you see is a lightning one, which you manage to get past pretty easily because it's on a fixed path, but it's a good introduction one to show you that, hey, you see this big ball of lightning, intuitively you don't want to touch that shit. Once you get past that, you'll go into a huge fucking field and get attacked by a meatball. Like from fucking Black Ops 3. And it's very scary. What the hell, man? I hate these little meatball fucking cretins, dude. Immediately you'll feel like a very tactical, immersive feeling to the game. You'll start saying tactical shit that doesn't make any sense because you want to feel cool. Just because, like, that's what gamers do. You hop on Armor 3, you get into a squad, and you're like, enemy 45 meters north of me, and really you're just a guy in a room with probably an alcoholic beverage next to you, and your lights are all off, and it's probably 3 in the morning. It's similar to that. Look at me in the eyes right now. You might feel like a tactical guy. You probably have despicable fucking things in your Twitter likes. So do I. But we're in this together now. So subscribe. You go through a lot of different anomalies, trying to charge up your scanners, you charge up the artifact inside of it, which one after another fails, and you keep going and get introduced to a thing called a Bloodstalker, which is one of the most terrifying enemies in the game at the start because you don't know how to deal with them. If you have a rifle, a lot of the things feel like they take way too many bullets to kill until you realize that, hey, dumbass, they're right in front of you, use a shotgun, and it becomes so much easier. Fuck you. It took me a surprising amount of time to figure out. Don't know how. But finally you get to the final anomaly, and the scanner finally charges, but you are rudely interrupted by a gang of thugs who knocks you out and takes your scanner from you. This kind of starts the premise of the story, trying to get your scanner back and figure out why people are after this fucking artifact. You wake up to a guy named Richter. He throws you a bolt. This is where you figure out how to mainly navigate through anomalies using the bolt. You throw the bolt at the anomaly, it triggers it, it does its little attack thing, and you get a little bit of, you get a period of time to walk through the anomaly. Which might not sound like it's the best method to, do, but this bolt in your hand is one of the few things that you can trust in this wasteland. This bolt is like basically like your best friend. It's the only thing you rely on. Your guns jam, your ammo's gonna run out, you'll run out of medical items, you'll get radiation even though you get the best armor on, but guess what, buddy? This bolt will always be by your side. After you get through all the anomalies, you can talk to Richter. He tells you to go to a town called Zalicia, where you can talk to the barkeep and kind of talk to the people of the town to figure out where your scanner might be and how to get it. This is where, for the first time, you're kind of let loose on the world. You can go wherever you really want, which is one of the first things that I want to talk about, is the world looks absolutely amazing. That sense of immersion that I talked about earlier is very present in the entire world. I mean, the lighting, the environment, and one of the most important things to me is audio. The audio is amazing, and it is very seamless.
Listen up, guys. An emission is coming. Everyone take shelter.
Now, of course, whenever you get told to go to Zalicia, you're going to open your map to see where it is, and you're going to notice that, holy shit, the map is fucking huge. To put it into perspective for you, the area of the first 3 games combined, all of the maps from the first 3 games combined, is around 7.5 square kilometers, okay? Take that number, put it in your head. Now, the map of Stalker II Heart of Chernobyl is around 64 square kilometers big. So around 8 times bigger than the previous 3 games. And even though I've been playing this game for not the longest amount of time, I have around 30 hours, which is like a good chunk, but definitely not enough to explore everything. I feel like I barely scratched the fucking surface of finding everything and going everywhere. It is so large. When you get to the town, you're going to be quickly introduced to the ward, also known as my op. They're pretty much like police, or the only form of government that's really in the zone that's trying to get rid of it. But sometimes their methods are, how would you say, they fucking blow. Because you walk into the bar, speak to the bartender that you were told about, and then ward officials come in, fucking wieners out, looking for someone that stole some shit. Wasn't us. Don't know why you're coming at me so hard. I just got here. Now, whenever the ward starts pointing fingers, the ward officials that come in, people generally don't like stalkers. Which, if you've never played a stalker game before, you're probably like, why, man? That's not cool. We're just stalkers. The abbreviation, however, quite literally stands for scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers, and robbers. So, I can kind of see where the dislike might come from. Because, you know, if someone says, hey, I'm a stalker, they have no fucking clue what category you're in. Are you an adventurer, or are you a killer? The main ward official, Zotov, is talking about a guy named Squint who killed some wardens, took their surface weapons, and now is on the run. Squint's trying to sell these weapons, and the ward official puts you in the hot spot and says, he's out the stalker way now.
Off the wounded and looted their bodies. Is that the stalker way now?
I mean, brother, killers is one of the words. And robbing. And loners. And then he freaks out and tries to seize you. We're in the Chernobyl zone, buddy. You're not seizing shit. And then they leave. You go talk to the bartender. And this is going to start the main story questline on finding your scanner and figuring out what's so important about that artifact and what you can do with it. You'll go all over the zone building your character, getting different gear, weapons, and artifacts, and kind of do a build on your character and going from an inexperienced noob to a veteran killer slaughtering, wasteland-ridden, inhumane piece of shit. But it feels cool. So now we got the basic down, let's talk about the actual gameplay, the map, and overall how the game feels. It is amazing, and it works great most of the time. However, most of the time is the keyword there. There are some times, for me at least, where visual bugs or audio bugs will occur. That scope's actually huge, though.
What's up, Stalker? Be careful,
Dude,
Stalker.
shut the fuck up! Oh my god!
What's up, Stalker?
Shut up!
Be careful.
Shut up!
What's up, Stalker?
What the hell's going on? I've heard a lot about game-breaking bugs, but I myself have not experienced any major game-breaking bugs that just crash. The AI has been one of the topics that people have talked about quite a bit as well. With the older games had this system called A-Life, which they are going to implement in Stalker 2, or they have implemented, but they just say it doesn't work correctly yet. The A-Life system made it feel to where each person in Chernobyl actually had their own whims and desires, and they would just kind of be wandering around. Now in Stalker 2, there are definitely some moments where I'd be walking around, enemies would spawn behind me, and I'd just start killing shit, but they would all spawn together, and it was kind of obvious that they just spawned in and noticed me from like a fucking mile away. So it's not working properly quite yet, but they are working on fixing on it. As of this video, actually, they've released like 2 12-gigabyte updates, something crazy like that. In the patch notes, it says that's working a little bit better, but I've seen mixed reviews online whether it's actually working better or not. One of the game's main characteristics that kept me pulled in is just the absolute atmosphere and immersion, which I've talked about before. You get absolutely lost in this world and want to learn more and more, and it is mainly due to how beautiful and seamless the world actually is. There is crazy landmarks, anomalies spread everywhere, and it makes exploring every single location pretty exciting because you're looking out over your shoulder for some either fucked up mutant, anomaly, artifact, constantly exploring, looking how to make your character better.
Whole lot of red.
Back the fuck up, dude. Fire, I need you to not right now. Dude, Jesus, leave me alone, bro. Another thing that I appreciate about this game is not only does your character get better, but also you get better at the game and become more experienced with how the world actually works. Whenever you learn how to deal with different anomalies in different ways, it feels kind of gratifying in a way to be like, okay, I know now how this obstacle works. I know how to get over it. I know how to kill this enemy better. I know how to kill this enemy better. And it feels good figuring out the best way to do each of those things. So that is gratifying in its own right. And whenever you're exploring the world, you're going to see groups and clusters of a lot of anomalies in one area. It could be a bunch of lightning anomalies, a bunch of chemical anomalies. You have this scanner, and whenever you pull out this handheld scanner, not the big one that we were talking about earlier, you'll be able to notice that it will either beep or the light will glow depending on what kind of scanner you have. Now, there are different kinds of scanner for different kinds of visual indication on how close you are to an artifact, but whenever you're exploring and you do get an artifact, you'll notice that it will give you protection or either a little bit of weakness to certain things, or it'll even produce radiation at some point. But it will give you a protection bonus to another thing to often offset it. What? Some artifacts go for a lot, and some go for less to vendors. Whenever you find these artifacts, you can put them together hand in hand to make your character better. Physical protection, thermal protection, chemical protection, radiation protection, current stats, weight stats make you carry more. Most of these artifacts specialize in either one or two categories, usually one being bad and one being good for you. So you can use multiple of them in tandem to try to even out both of them, or just go all the way in one area, or go all the way in one category depending on the area that you're exploring. They are a major part of the game, so anytime you see a field of anomalies, you should go check it out. Although there's probably about a 25% chance you're going to die, it's worth it. That was another thing I had to get used to in this game, was saving all the time, because it doesn't have like an autosave feature really, which makes sense because it's an open world game. So keep in mind, save more often than you think to, just because you'll forget about it like I did. But they are a major part of the game because you see your main enemy throughout the entire game is not these guys, or these guys, or these guys. It is the environment itself. The environment itself is always going to try to fucking kill you. I do hate these guys though. They look like Lovecraftian abominations that weren't ever actually written. The people in town will ask you to get some of these artifacts, you can sell them for a lot of money. I mean, that's like the whole premise of the zone, is people going to make money off of these artifacts because they give you superhuman abilities. I mean, it's like legitimately the only way to protect yourself from the world. Another thing that really stuck with me was how powerful the guns are. Even whenever in the beginning of the game, whenever you get Skiff's pistol, which is just a Makarov, and you can kill pretty much any guy with it, like any human. As long as you get 1 or 2 clean headshots, they'll fall over, which I found to be really cool. Good shit, dude. And it gives a real sense of immersion and satisfaction to be able to approach different situations in different ways, because you know that the enemy is just as vulnerable as you are. And gear is rarely ever in a surplus. Sure, you can have a lot of ammo, but it'll be gone in like 10 minutes if you use it disposably. You could have 120 rounds of 5.45 in your AK whenever you approach one camp, and then nothing in there whenever you approach another. And your playstyles are going to have to vary depending on what kind of gear you have. There were times whenever I would go guns blazing, which is rarely ever the case. Would not recommend that shit unless you're really feeling it. No, dude! But most of the time you go on the outskirts and try to infiltrate your way in and take them out silently, to leave a lot of stress off of you for whenever you get seen by one of them, because they shoot with the aim of a higher being. I loved that I was constantly almost afraid of going into a situation too heavy-handedly. I had to really think about what I was doing. 1 second your gun's blazing in your AK, and the next second you're back to the shitty shadows trying to jump a Ukrainian man with a Makarov. Personally, I've been having a lot of fun with Stalker 2, and considering the journey this game has gone through to even be here today, it's impressive to me. I wanted to be honest about the issues though, and that it does have trouble relying on older hardware, and there have been a lot of reports of crashing, and also the AI not working properly, visual bugs, audio bugs. But me personally, I've not experienced anything majorly game-breaking, but I would be dishonest of me not to say those things to you. So if you're on the fence, I would just wait for a sale, or maybe till it gets patched and fixed, which there have been some patches, but it's been mixed reviews on how those patches have actually been handling. Sometimes the AI would just say the same thing like 20 times at me, but that happened rarely. Still got to talk about it though. Stalker 2 is a good game to me, but I can definitely tell that it's not going to be for everyone, especially with the state that it's in now. So either wait till it's on sale, or if you're really passionate about the Stalker series and you've played it before, then I would give it a shot. But ultimately, that becomes up to you. I'm just a guy. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe or like, or just leave a comment telling me on what you'd prefer me to do next time, or if I could do something better. I love making these videos a lot, so just trying to get better at them. I appreciate all of you for watching if you've made it to this point, and genuinely means a lot to me that there are people out there who come back and watch my videos pretty regularly. I'm looking at every single one of you motherfuckers. That's why I make sure to say hi every time I see you guys in my comments, because I remember your names. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.